Don't miss the tea. Subscribe now.
OMG, grab your wine, because you are not going to believe the flashback I just had. I am shaking just thinking about it. You know how we always talk about incompetent bosses? Well, I have to take you back to 2001 to a time when I was the retail queen of a record store. I ran that place like the Navy. But then came the new owner's era. It was October 2001, and a delivery truck pulled up with 20 flimsy wallpaper pasting tables and rolls of hideous red plastic. The corporate memo said I was required to set up all 20 tables on the sales floor and staple this plastic to the tops. Here's the problem. My store was a shoebox, maybe 220 square feet of floor space. They sent me 240 square feet of tables. Do the math, babe. The math wasn't mathing. I called my regional manager, Greg. I said, "Greg, it is physically going to keep customers out. If I set up these tables, there will be no floor. It will be wall-to-wall table." He wasn't hearing it. He told me I was exaggerating and being difficult. I tried to reason with him. Greg, picture the store. Where do the people go? They would only come inside out of morbid curiosity to see why the record store turned into a furniture hoarder's nest. Then he dropped the bomb. He got all icy and said, "Just get it done. I'll be down there first thing tomorrow morning to check compliance." Compliance. Oh, that word triggered something deep inside me. You know me, I'm a hard worker, but do not challenge my petty side when I know I'm right. He wanted compliance. He wanted to see his precious tables. I hung up that phone and I said to myself, "Okay, Greg, you want tables? I will give you tables. I will give you every single damn table." I sent the staff home at closing time. This was a solo mission, a labor of hate. I spent the next 2 hours hauling these heavy, awkward tables down the stairs. I set them up, unfolded the legs, and stapled that stinking red plastic to the tops, just like the memo asked. I managed to fit 18 of them. 18 tables. Girl, when I tell you, it looked like a red plastic sea. The tables filled the entire room. You couldn't see the floor. You couldn't see the lower shelves. There was barely a square inch of standing room. And here is the kicker. I was trapped. I was standing in the back of the store, looking at this monstrosity, and I realized I had to get to the front door to set the alarm. But there was no path. So I had to army crawl, honey. I literally army crawled underneath 18 wallpaper pasting tables, dragging myself across the dusty floor in my work trousers, just to get to the keypad and lock up. I went home, took a hot bath, and poured a very large drink. I was exhausted, sore, and absolutely thrilled for the morning. The next day, I showed up at 8:35 a.m., and who was standing there? Greg. He beat me to the store. He was standing on the pavement, staring through the metal grill of the shutter. He looked like his brain had short-circuited. I walked up behind him, sipping my coffee, looking fresh as a daisy. He turns to me, eyes bulging, and whispers, "What have you done?" I smiled my sweetest smile. I did exactly what you asked for, Greg, total compliance. I unlocked the shutter and rolled it up to reveal the full glory of the mess. It looked like a buffet for ghosts. I told him to wait, and then, with all the dignity I could muster, I dropped to the floor and army crawled back under the tables to disarm the alarm. I'm wiggling through the tunnel of darkness I created. Then I turned around and shouted across the room from the back wall. "That's what I have to do just to get in. Now, Greg, tell me, what do you propose the customers do? Should they walk on top of the tables like Jesus or crawl underneath like I just did?" Greg stood there, eyes like dinner plates. I yelled out, "Actually, Greg, this is only 18 of them. I have 2 left in the back. Do you want me to stack them?" Greg finally shook his head. He looked defeated. He looked sad. He rubbed his temples and muttered, "Let's just clear this mess up." "Gladly," I said, but of course it wasn't that simple. Because I had followed instructions and stapled the plastic to the tables wouldn't fold back up. The plastic was caught in the hinges. So there we were, me and my regional manager. I'm crawling back out to the front. We start dismantling this disaster. I'm using a box cutter to slice through the plastic at the joints. Greg didn't have a knife, so he's aggressively hacking at the plastic with his car key, looking furious. It took us 40 minutes. 40 minutes of sweating, ripping plastic, and hauling these stupid tables back up the stairs. We opened the store late. Customers were banging on the door, annoyed. I'm dusty, Greg is disheveled. But the cherry on top, once we finally cleared the floor and got the store open, Greg spent the next hour in my back office, using my phone. I could hear him screaming at head office. He was yelling at the directors, telling them what a catastrophic idea this was, how it didn't work, how they needed to rethink the whole strategy immediately. He basically repeated everything I had told him the day before, passing it off as his own discovery. But I didn't care. I just sat at the counter, watching my customers walk freely through my beautiful, empty floor space, feeling the sweet, sweet satisfaction of malicious compliance. But hey, at least I got to see Greg trying to slash a tablecloth with a BMW key. That memory is free rent in my head forever.